Is there a behavior or activity that you would like to stop doing or that you'd really like to start? It's really hard, like establishing an exercise routine, picking up that new hobby you've always wanted to do. Well, what if there was a science that you could use so that you could replicate the steps it would take to change behaviors in a positive way so that you could have success springing up in every area of your life? Hi, my name is Chantal Ashley. I am a teacher, a coach, a speaker, a mom, and on this channel I share ideas and perspectives that may help you live your best life. And today we're talking about habits, and this is something I've spoken about a little bit in previous videos. About 2 months ago, the universe gifted me a book, The Power of Habit. And in this book, Charles Duhigg looks at something that's really interesting, and that's why do some people or organizations find it easy to leverage their behaviors in a positive way, while others struggle and fail? And there's so much content, so I'm going to break this up into a series of videos today. I'd just like to talk to you about what he discovered in terms of the habit loop. The book opens with an exploration of a woman who has successfully changed her life in an amazing way. She went from being dissatisfied with her personal life, zoom in on the present day, and just like a Hallmark Christmas movie, she is successful and she's a runner and she's done all of these amazing things. In identifying what it took for this woman to be successful, while for so many of us, just getting up and lacing those sneakers in the morning so you can go for a run seems like a mammoth task. The behavior that she chose to focus on was not really linked to the behavior itself. She didn't kind of say, all right, I want to quit smoking. What she did was say, I want to come back to Egypt. It's linked to something that was going on in her life. Then identified that, oh gosh, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to need to do this. And if I'm going to do this, and in a roundabout kind of way, I'm going to have to quit smoking. That is what the author calls a keystone habit. So the one that will yield to the most positive results in a sort of domino way that you may not have anticipated. He illustrates how this is linked to keystone habits in organizations also. For instance, a case study in which Alcoa, by focusing on their safety record, actually shifted the patterns of communication and the ability to incorporate new ideas, which helped them leverage and gain access to parts of the market that they may have missed out on because they needed to reduce the amount of time it took for a message on safety to reach from the factory floor all the way to the highest office. So a keystone habit is the thing that if you do that, a lot of other things follow. You see this in instances where people take up something like meditation, and almost coincidentally their study habits improve, or they focus on improving their sleep, and almost as a byproduct they feel more successful and achieve more in a corporate or work environment. So a keystone habit is the one that if you shift that, lots of other things come. But what does that look like? What is a habit anyway? There is something called a habit loop. It looks like this. You have a stimulus, something that kind of sets you off, stimulus or cue. So if we're talking about going for a run, the stimulus may be seeing your sneakers right next to your bed so you can put them on and get going. Then you have the routine. Routine is the behavior. Why is it called a routine? Because it keeps repeating. That's why it's a habit, right? And the reward. Perhaps your reward is that rush of endorphins or that feeling of success that you have that, yes, you've accomplished something difficult. And then the knock-on after effect may be that you reward yourself by having a really healthy smoothie or whatever feeds into your vision of what success in that area looks like. So you have a cue, the McDonald's sign, a routine, pull into the driveway, and a reward. All of those delicious chemicals flooding your bloodstream, yeah? In terms of changing habit or making a positive impact on them, you cannot erase habits. However, you can overwrite them. So when you see that familiar cue, what you want to do is find a way to replace the routine. So what do you put in place of that that's going to enable you to still have the reward you're looking for? For you to do that, you'll need to develop a little bit of awareness around what do you get. What's the reward that you currently experience from living these existing habits? Even if they seem bad. You want to quit smoking? Okay, what do you get from smoking? It's probably not the chemical piece. Nicotine is really addictive. This is true, but it passes from your system really quickly after your last cigarette. So there's got to be something else, right? As a starting point, while we wait for the next video where I'll unpack a little bit more around this, take a moment to try to reflect on what rewards you currently get from enacting even the negative behaviors that you want to change. Is that a time when you usually get to interact with a coworker or a group of coworkers that you may not otherwise see? Is that the reward? Is the social element the thing that you benefit from? When you pick up a cigarette and go to the smoking spot, Is it either the interaction or its opposite? Is that the only moment you get to yourself to stop and think and process? So take a moment to think about that, have the awareness piece going. What do you get? What is the reward you get from the behaviors that you're currently engaging in? Even when you feel they're not good, there's something you want to change. What do you currently get out of them? You're going to need to know that in order to replace the routine and still give yourself the reward that you're subconsciously seeking. All right, I hope that has intrigued you. If you want to check it out, it's called The Power of Habit, Why We Do What We Do and How to Change. And just a small disclaimer, as should be the case when you're reading something critically, you may find that some of the arguments or positions that are put forward are not ones that you either fully agree with or think are sound. The good thing about this book is there are lots of notes and references that you can go to and follow. No approach is a one-size-fits-all for any person, but it is interesting to note that the studies, etc., that are provided are firstly really well defined, so you know what it is that you're working with. And anytime that there have been conflicting views, for instance, companies saying, no, well, what you've written about us is false, the author has included that perspective. Okay, friends, I hope that you found this video helpful. I hope that you are intrigued and going to start paying attention to the behaviors that you're looking at, and that the next few videos that I put out can give you really short, bite-sized ways to hit each of the things that you've identified in this kind of habit awareness piece that you're engaging in now. I look forward to chatting to you all again soon, and until next time, stay safe. Bye-bye.